If you like what you hear in this podcast and want to help us keep the lights on, then you can support us on Ko-fi for as little as a £1 one-off donation. The links are in the episode description. Thanks for your support. This is Skip, the podcast where we tell you, in our opinion, which albums are truly unskippable and which ones belong in the skip. I'm Mike.
I'm Rob.
And welcome to 2026.
I can't believe it's already here.
It feels weird because we've done, this is episode 23, I think. So, well into the double digits, well into our second calendar year doing this, which is crazy. I don't think we'd get past episode 2. I'm kidding, no.
I thought 5.
I give you 5 just to shut you up and then go back to doing what I want to do.
Which is sleeping and running.
Yes. And to be fair, your sleep pattern must be screwed because I couldn't get up and do the running you do.
Yeah, it's good fun.
I know it's fun, but there's
nothing wrong with getting up at 4:30 in the morning.
There is a lot of things wrong with that in my life. Right. First show of 26. So welcome back, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the specials that you had the last 2 weeks, but now we're back to serious business. Very briefly before we do go into that, it's a huge thanks to everybody that supported the show so far, and even the special episodes you've turned up and you've listened, and it's been great. And especially big thanks to our biggest fan. I didn't shout them out personally on Instagram because I did just take a photo of their Spotify rap. Thank you very much. When I figured out that potentially, well, not even potentially, it's kind of undoubtedly our biggest listener, Laura, who submitted the Florence and the Machine album for review.
Awesome.
Literally listened to every single minute of stuff we've made.
That's insane.
It's her most listened to podcast, and I'm fairly certain that there's nobody who's matched that level of listening. So thank you for your support. I have offered you a second album. When you're ready, get back to me on that. We'll put it into the rotation. But for now, let's move on to nobody's recommendation.
My recommendation
Your
from my
fucking recommendation.
So,
those of you who listened to the Christmas episode will know I lost tragically. Well, not even
tragically. You lost to Richard Cheese. It's a good loss.
I know, but I maintain I was robbed. So we've had to listen to your fucking up.
Well, as a saving grace,
yes,
we will put another one of your albums into the rotation.
I do not want your pity.
Tough shit, you're getting it. We are going to add, I think it was Gotye.
No, we won't. Or we'll do it halfway through the year,
That's what I mean.
At the very least.
We'll add it into the rotation, so midway point of the year, we will review that album.
Yeah, an immediate skipped because I lost.
I'm not that harsh.
No, you're not. You're actually pretty good. And I feel bad for all the harshness that's going to come. So, you won, and therefore this week we are reviewing, 3 minutes into the episode, Razorblade Romance by him.
Yes.
Capital letters?
Yes, him.
Him.
Which was also recommended by my partner and your wife.
Yeah, technically this is a recommendation and therefore the first recommendation from my wife, although it's not her pick. I don't know even, to be fair, the things that she's asked for in the show, because she actually listens, so I've got to be real careful about what I say here, have actually already been requested by other people as well. So I'm not going to disclose what those requests are, and we'll just mention them when they come up. But I think there's going to be, it's a very eclectic mix of albums.
Oh yeah, we've got some great stuff coming up, so keep listening.
I hope you're prepared for some emotional goddamn whiplash in the coming months, because the tone is just going back and forth.
Up and down, up and down, up and down.
It's a hell of a thing. So, yeah. I don't really know where to start with this, because I don't have any real kind of nostalgia for him. They're very much a thing that was around in the subculture. Again, for those who need the context, me and Rob are some sweaty grebs when we were kids.
Yeah, we were.
To an embarrassing standard on my end, I genuinely did own a full-length leather duster coat, because I was, and I cannot stress this enough, poison to women. I'm literally all the things that I thought were cool were just all the things that nobody else, especially girls, thought were cool. So I was just
tips fedora.
Oh my god! Oh, it did not help.
Did you have a fedora?
Let me tell the story. The year I got into one of my favourite franchises, which is the contents of this cupboard to my left, Kamen Rider. That's the only time we'll ever get to mention this on this show. The main character from that show also wore a wide-brimmed black hat. So, yes, I did. At near enough the same point in time, never wore them together, did own a full-length leather coat and a fedora.
Milady.
Milady, indeed.
Well,
I wasn't tragic.
I wasn't quite that bad. I was more of an emo child. So I had a black fringe, massive black hair because I did not know what conditioner was. And I wore the tightest women's jeans that I could find.
I didn't think that was you. I thought that was somebody that used to hang about with.
No, that was me.
That was you.
Yeah, I was wearing, I think, size 6 jeans at the time.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah.
How many pieces have your bollocks been broken into then?
4.
4. That's interesting. Does that make you more or less aerodynamic?
They live inside me now.
Okay, enough talk about that.
So, the reason this album holds such a special place in my heart is that when I found out about like heavier music, because I used to be massively into drum and bass and like R&B, and I loved an eclectic selection of music because my parents didn't really listen to one type of music, but rock was never on the table. One of my friends that helped me learn about this type of music introduced me to Bullet for My Valentine, Bring Me the Horizon. He had a copy of him and Bam on DVD.
I did have Viva La Bam DVDs back in the day.
So this wasn't Viva La Bam. I never actually watched an episode of Viva La Bam, weirdly. But it was like an extended cut of another one of their albums where it had a DVD with like the making of their music and stuff like that. And my friend was a huge fan, like absolutely huge fan. He went to see them, I think, a couple of times. And at the time, I couldn't stand them, weirdly. Yeah. I thought they were a bit too mopey. And it wasn't until I got older, I was like, well, I've gone through my rebellious, I only listen to things that sound like a man gargling type music, which I still enjoy.
You do still enjoy gargling men?
I do love gargling men.
Somebody clip that, please. Somebody clip that.
Huge love to Job for a Cowboy. But then I started to actually appreciate some of the softer parts of rock music, and this definitely falls into that sort of category of, as they deemed it, love metal.
The only band that describes themselves as a love metal band, as far as I'm aware.
And can you think of a more suited description of their music?
I can, but we'll get into that a little bit later on. I remember very starkly that the Ville Valo idolization was probably more prominent than actually the music, and I think the Ville Valo is kind of like both as a sex symbol for the subculture and also like very much the poster child next to Gerard Way.
Yep.
For the whole thing. It seemed like people would have like bags and posters and Christ knows what with his face on it. And yet it still took me till I want to say 2007 for me to even hear my first hymn song.
Oh, wow.
And I'm pretty sure that was Wings of a Butterfly?
Yeah, one of the weaker songs that got really big. Like that, the Darklight album, which that is from, was probably one of the first albums to get proper playtime in the UK. So that's probably why you heard that one a little bit more. It was all over MTV and the music channels that we had back in the day. And Kerrang absolutely loved the shit out of that song.
Because Darklight, I think, is their most commercially successful album. Whereas the one we're looking at today, Razorblade Romance, was like the breaking into the international market.
Yep, their entry in the early 2000s.
Because before that, they were very much like a domestic. Oh God, now I'm going to get their nationality wrong. They are Finnish.
Got it in one.
Yes, there we go. So they were a domestic Finnish act for their first album, and then this is kind of like the big international breakthrough.
Yep.
So it's an interesting thing. It's not something I have any nostalgia for. I don't even think this was early 2000s. I think this was 1999.
Well, they entered the studio in 1999.
Oh, they entered the studio, they recorded it in
1999. It
came
out on the 24th of January 2020. No, not 2020. 2000.
That's a hell of a
so
gestation
the album
period.
Is 25 years old.
Yep. 26 years old.
26 years old. Will be 26 years old in about 2 weeks.
So, happy 26th birthday, this specific album. Okay, sure.
We didn't get you a cake. Piss off.
So let's just get into talking about it, shall we? I actually, do you want the opportunity to do it? Are you going to give an immediate verdict on this since it's your pick, or are you going to hold fire?
I don't want to give an immediate verdict. I like hearing what you have to say rather than getting your back up.
Fair enough.
Because I feel like when you did Meteora and you gave that instant verdict, you were looking for me to argue.
Yeah, I was.
And
I wanted to.
I didn't give you that satisfaction.
No, because you ended up liking it, which was,
bastard.
It was surprising.
Yeah, I don't want to give an immediate verdict. I like having the discussions with you at different points. I have my viewpoint. I'm not going to do what you did to My Chemical Romance and pussyfoot about.
No.
I'm actually going to give a definitive verdict at the end of this.
Oh, interesting.
Shall we just go into the usual sort of interesting facts?
Yeah, go ahead.
This was recorded in Wales.
Excuse me?
Yep. So they actually originally started the recording process with a different producer called, oh my God, Hilly Hilsma.
There, was he Welsh or Finnish?
I think he was Finnish.
Because Hilly Hilsma definitely sounds like...
Hililesmaa. Hilly Hilsma.
Okay, that's definitely not Welsh because there's not enough Y's in there.
Yeah,
but
not
sure.
enough Y's. So yeah, they actually restarted the recording process with John Fryer in the Rockfield Studios in Wales. So this is a Welsh album.
This is bizarre. Like, this
the
already
fact that
is
they
a bizarre
randomly
story.
came over from Finland to Wales to record an album.
This album isn't damp enough. We need to go to Wales.
Apparently, it was known for shaping atmospheric rock records, which is why they went there.
Okay.
Because they wanted to create something that was a little bit different to their debut album, which is hilarious that they called it Greatest Love Songs Volume 666.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently it was the perfect balance of beauty and pain.
The album or being in Wales?
Bit of both.
Bit of both, yeah.
Bit of both. There were 6 singles.
Okay, I don't know them. Can I guess them?
Go on then.
For a bit of a laugh. I think now, are we talking about singles that were released internationally or just domestically?
According to the album's documented single rollout.
Okay, just if I get one wrong, you immediately tell me the list. I think Poison Girl was a single.
Yes.
Okay, I'll keep going. I think Wicked Game was a single.
Yes.
Okay.
The last single they released.
Okay. Razorblade Kiss, was that a single?
No.
Ah, okay, tell me the list.
So we had Join Me in Death, which was their first single in November 1999. Right Here in My Arms, March 2000. Your Sweet 666 in June 2000. Poison Girl, July 2000. Gone with a Sin, October 2000. And Wicked Game, November 2000.
Your Sweet that's cheating, because we'll get onto this. That's not from this album.
But this version is.
This version is, yes.
It was a re-recording to make it more fitting with the new aesthetic they were trying to go with.
Technically, I mean, it's the first time that anybody outside of their home country will have heard it, so it's as good as this album track, if you know what I mean. But I maintain it's not an original song.
But did you know that they also had to release this album under the name Her due to a naming conflict in America?
Come on.
So for a time,
right,
if you had a copy of this which you had obtained via downloading sources in the early 2000s, which was popularized, you would have a copy of Him and Her, which is what I had on my iPod.
So you genuinely had a Him and Her's iPod?
I had Him and Her as an album on my iPod because of the naming conflict in America.
So they had to change the artist name for that particular album?
Yep. Because of someone else had that name.
Is this like when... But then they eventually went back to him?
Yeah.
So it's exactly what happened to Ghost. Ghost had to go by Ghost BC for like the fucking takeoff point for them. And then they were allowed to go back to being called Ghost.
Exactly.
That's dumb.
Which raises the question why going to a random band President, which is a new artist band project that came out last year, was able to launch with that name when there's a band that's been going for like 15, 20 years with that same name.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't understand copyright law. Maybe it's if you just lawyer up real well early doors.
Or if you just spell it with capital letters rather than, proper punctuation.
I mean, I guess, but so's him. Him's capitalised. Technically, it's an acronym, isn't it?
Yeah. His Infernal Majesty.
I've never known how I actually feel about it being that. It feels a bit like, I don't know, this is going to sound stupid. When bands have that kind of, that acronym names, they tend to be ones that kind of roll off the tongue, but then you would never call them that. Like AFI is
Fire Inside.
Yeah, nobody would listen to a band called A Fire Inside, but AFI, it's catchy.
I listened to Alexis on Fire.
Ah, yeah, it's different. I just like Alexis on Fire. If somebody wants to...
Oh, yeah, please put... Someone submit Crisis, please.
I was going to ask for Watch Out, but fair enough. I'll take either.
I'll take either.
So, is it time... Oh, do you have more? Do you have more stuff?
It introduced the iconic heartogram to a wider audience.
Yeah, that thing has been doodled to shit.
I had a pair of shoes with it on.
I don't doubt it.
It was a pair of the Bam Margera Adios collab, because he took the heartogram as his emblem for years on his skate decks.
Yeah, and like for those who enjoyed Viva La Bam, you know that he basically made it like a centerpiece of this house that he bought somewhere in Pennsylvania.
Well, comically, as part of the DVD that I told you about, he somehow got a hold of his friend's eBay account and bought like 15 grand's worth of him merch when they were first coming out.
Jesus
and
Christ.
Didn't pay for any of it. So he got he got his friend banned from eBay for not paying for it back in the days where you didn't have to pay for things before you got them.
Yeah.
So I think that's absolutely hilarious.
What a jerk.
And then he got them in for loads of music videos and
their partnership was pretty strong for years.
Huge. I don't know what happened, whether they fell out or anything.
I think it was more just a case of the album kind of cycle for him kind of slowed down, and obviously they're no longer a thing anymore. And Bam pretty much fell to fucking rotten ruin after Ryan died.
Yeah.
I think he's clean now, but I'm not 100% sure.
I don't think that they're done. I think they're just on hiatus. I know their drummer left a while back, who was hilarious, and he had a Whopper on his drum kit. An actual burger of the Whopper on his drum kit.
So they just hadn't drawn a big cock.
I'm hoping that they're just on hiatus because they were absolutely beautiful live.
Oh, so you have a seat?
I have seen them. His voice is something else.
What tour did you see them on?
I can't remember. It was back in 2012.
Okay. Oh, so well after
well after this sort of phase.
Yeah.
It was when I was listening to them growing up. I don't think I had enough money to go and see them. So when I saw them in Wolverhampton,
did they play much from this album?
They did.
Okay.
They did a great selection of some tracks that they'd never played live before, and it was beautiful. I cried. Genuinely, I cried. His voice is just something else.
It certainly is unique. I'll give him that. I'm trying not to give too much away.
Yeah, it's fine.
But whilst we are giving things away, we could talk about Do we want to go into best tracks already, or is there anything else you wanted to say up top?
Before, getting to best tracks, this album got a 10 out of 10 from blabbermouth.net. It got a Krang 3 out of 5. Metal Hammer gave it 8 out of 10. Rock Hard gave it 9 out of 10. What on earth Rock Hard is, I don't want to know.
That's a men's health magazine.
So reviews are mixed. Some places love it, some places hate it. Is this a Marmite album? Let's find out.
It has
Let's
the potential
discuss.
to be.
What are your favourite tracks?
Right, okay. We'll start with the good, and I think that's a good place to start. I think, now I'm just looking over the track list again. You ran my house one of the days, and you put this one on, and I was like, I didn't know that this was him. And then when
that started the conversation.
So you put on Right Here in My Arms, and that's the first one outside of the one from Dark Light that I'd actually heard. And I got to say, it's one of the more kind of upbeat ones, and therefore the more ones that connected with me. I think it's just pretty good. It's pretty, it manages to stay relatively gothic whilst having a bit more drive to it, which is kind of, I'm not going to say lacking in the album, but it's a stylistic choice to be slower. And then when it does crank up with a bit more speed, it does get a little bit more interesting. And perhaps this is something that they toyed with in the future albums. I don't know. But it's something that I'd like to hear more of. That being said, I do think that some of the slower ones have got their merit. I really did quite like Bury Me Deep Inside. That wasn't too bad. And bear with me, I'm just going through, because they don't have... The bits that I remember in the songs are never the titles. So, Bury Me Deep Inside is not in the chorus of that song.
All I
ever wanted. So, I thought the song was, because I wasn't looking at my screen at the time, that was called All I Ever Wanted. I was like, oh man, did I accidentally skip? No, I just wasn't reading it properly. Poison Girl's also pretty, like, upbeat. And I quite enjoyed that as well. It's a weird one, right? Because I do think, and I don't want to go negative early, I do think that some of these bleed into each other a little bit. And it's hard to distinguish the back half of the album's kind of like starts and beginnings kind of more so than it is at the front half. So when we're in the front half, when we've got Right Here in My Arms Seem to Bury Me Deep Inside, and there's that definite step down of tempo, I can appreciate those tracks a little bit more, which is, it's nice, right? It's good. I do think Your Sweet C66 is pretty good. I'm tempted to give it much more praise than that because it's not from this album and I'll die on this hill. And what's the one? Is it literally just called Join Me? Or is it called Join Me in Death?
Join Me.
I don't know why this is the one that got into my head. I will find myself walking around the house just like doing... Not even that, just the... Baby, join me in death. Just the vocal is the only thing that like...
haunting.
It just stuck. And I can't explain why it stuck.
So, do you want a funny story about this song?
Go on.
I knew a version of this song before I knew who him were.
Okay.
So back in like the early 2000s, I bought a CD from Poundland. Right. So for any international viewers that might be out there, it was a shop where you could buy things for one whole English pound.
Yeah, it wasn't a shop where you
and it was
got pound.
It was weird because it was a CD CD game cheat disc combo for the PlayStation. So
did you buy like an exploder or whatever?
Yeah, something like that. But it was like a gamer's best or something like that. I'd love to find it again. Had a cheat disc in one side, CD in the other, and it had a garage song called "Join Me," but it was "Baby, Join Me in Bed." And imagine a garage remix of this song, like, but with like a 2000s.
Please tell me this is a real thing.
I've never been able to find it since.
Genuinely,
it was just on this CD.
Oh no! So I was going to stress right to YouTube.
Give it a try. If you can find it, I would love that. But I knew, like, I heard this song before I knew it was a hymn song. So when I heard this for the first time as a hymn song, I was like, hold the fucking phone. Why do I know this?
7 hours later.
Is this it?
I think it might be.
This is like proper like Scooter fucking Clubland shit. Baby, join me in bed. Oh god, there might be more remixes of it.
2,000 years later.
It very much says death.
But
it's this kind of vibe though.
Yeah, it's that kind of vibe. Maybe it was just a really bad quality CD. But
that's always possible.
I heard that version before I heard the original version, which is absolutely hilarious. And instantly, the same as you, it got stuck in my head. And I just remember listening and being like, why is this song so haunting? It's like the perfect mix of When Darkness Meets Light, which is very much Hymn's vibe.
Yeah, I mean, one of the albums was literally called Dark Lights. That kind of makes sense. Yeah, no, it's different, and there is a vibe about it, certainly in the instrumentation, that feels relatively unique. I'm not going to say entirely unique. I don't think there's any track on this album that is entirely unique. It's all of a vibe. It's all of a theme. So they've clearly thought about what direction the band were going at this point.
100%.
Because weirdly, Your 666 does still kind of stand out, and not just because of my ridiculously predisposed bias to it. It stands out because it feels more, not aggressive. What's the word I'm looking for? Grungy, I guess.
Yeah, I could see grungy.
And it's not in the rest of the tracks, really.
The way I look at this album is how you look at Sleep Token. This is very much the sort of Sleep Token of the early 2000s because everybody was coming out with really heavy, hardcore breakdown music, like Killswitch Engage were probably one of the heaviest. You've got Parkway Drive starting to emerge, Bring Me the Horizon before Ollie Sykes fucked his vocal cords. You've got like really heavy hitters on the scene with ridiculous scream music, and then him just in the corner making this heavy poetry. I think that's a nice way to put it.
Yeah.
It's a mix of what we would consider now to be heavy rock, with poetry in the background, sung by a man with a really angelic voice. He used to smoke 40 a day.
Angelic voices aren't really popular in the genre at this time as well. You got to think, like you say, if this is 2000, that is peak nu metal. So that is Limp Bizkit, Linkin Park, and Korn.
And Placebo and stuff like that.
I mean, Placebo, they're kind of like a thing to themselves. They're kind of more shoegazy than anything else.
Yeah.
And this doesn't feel shoegazy. It doesn't feel like deliberately down for no good reason. This feels, I guess, to a point, it does feel like it is metal that is meant to be about love. Hence the thing. I don't know, it just feels like a bit of a lazy moniker, but they chose it. So.
They chose it, and to this day, can you think of a better way to categorize them?
I guess not. It definitely is metal music. They definitely are love songs. It's very Ron Seal. I don't know, man. Like, I picked a fair few out that I liked.
Which I'm glad to hear, and I've got a couple to add. So I've got Death is in Love with Us. Simple, elegant, really showcases his vocal range, and the band show really well their competence in creating catchy riffs and incredible music. How many bands do you know where they've got a badass keyboard player in this sort of decade as well? I mean, you've got Bleeding Through and him. They're the only two bands I can really name that have got badass keyboard players.
Technically Rammstein, I guess.
I didn't really listen to them, so
okay, fair enough.
I don't really know much about Rammstein, to be honest. But what I will say is I've got the majority of songs you've written down. I've got Gone with the Sin as well, which I'm guessing you're not going to be a big fan of because it's a much slower song. It's a really haunting song, and it just gets stuck in my head. And I know it's not your cup of tea. I know your taste in music, and I know that the way that his vocals are on it, you'd want a heavier backing track that's slightly faster, slightly more rhythmical. But I think the fact that they can go from something as fast as Right Here in My Arms with that big build-up, with the really heavy backing, to something so soft in just a few tracks is so different to everything else that was out at the time. They've built a formula and they're testing it different BPM, and you've got to respect it. Like, they're doing something that nobody else at the time was doing, and concentrating on lyricism rather than catchy riffs.
I'll give you that. There is a sense of dynamics with the beat changes in the first half of the album. It's mostly because the first half of the album has a bit more of that kind of rise, fall, rise, fall, rise, fall. I do think Gone with the Sin is kind of like the breaking point for that. And kind of from there to the end of the record, you mostly get kind of slow ballads, which does feel like a bit of an uneven kind of mix, which is a good time to bring up. We're evaluating the UK release of this, which is why we're talking about Sweet 666, because that's on there. The original release is a different ordering,
which is very odd.
To be fair, the first half of the album is pretty much untouched on the original release. Like it starts with I Love You, which is weird, but then it does do Poison Girl, Join Me, Right Here in My Arms. It gets Gone with the Sin out in the first half rather than it being the midpoint. But then it's Razorblade Kiss, Bury Me Deep Inside, Heaven Tonight, Death and Love With Us, Resurrection, and then a track that is not on our version called One More Time, which I've listened to, and I couldn't tell you the first thing about because I don't remember it.
Is he a Britney Spears cover?
Yeah, I wish. But
me baby one more time.
I'd like to hear him do it.
Oh,
I really would.
Baby.
So we've got obviously Sweet 66, which is from the first album. We've got Wicked Game, which was originally a non-album single, which does not appear on the original release. Did I say Heaven Tonight? I think that is on the other one. I think it is.
Yeah.
I think those are the only two differences between the international release and the domestic release. I will say I have the same opinion of the album listening to both versions of it. It does not change how I feel about it. I don't think that this is a case of an album that's in the wrong order. I don't know why they messed with the order. It's just a quirk of the time, I guess. But they felt the need to mess with it. I think the only thing that could potentially be thrown up, and again, it's not a massive kind of change of how I'm feeling, is maybe they front-loaded the first half of the international release with the faster stuff to kind of draw people of that genre in. If you're going to try and siphon off kind of listeners from like rap metal and nu metal, you're going to want something that's a bit pacier, which would kind of make sense as to why first half of the album has basically all the fast ones and second half has all the slow ones, which you've been drip fed in the opening bit. If I'm putting my Mad Men marketing hat on, that's what you do. You're like, I want to sell this soft band to all these
hard lads.
Yeah, basically. I'm like, okay, well, we'll drip feed it in the first half and then, power load on the back half, which kind of makes sense, but I think there may have been a slightly better dynamic rise and fall on the original release. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about this release, and this is what we're evaluating.
Are there any additional tracks that you think you didn't enjoy as much?
Didn't enjoy or did?
Didn't.
Didn't.
So you've been through your positives.
Yeah.
Hit me with your best shot.
Okay.
Fire away.
Why don't you hit me with your best shot? You mentioned Gone with the Sin. I need to get this out because this fucking song broke me in not the best ways. Okay, so you're right, it's not my vibe. And I can temper that with just knowing that it's not my vibe. What I can't temper it with is, unfortunately, it's the point at which the facade broke for me. And I think the evaluation of this record as love metal kind of fell away when I realised I'd listened to the 12th, I think it was the 12th listen of the whole album. And I just went, oh my God, this album is actually just all love songs. And I should have put two and two together. Gone, no, it's all love songs. And moreover, this one's just fucking bad. It's just, oh, how beautiful you are. Repeated ad nauseum. And it's the point where I realised that Ville Valo, and there's a lot of people that are going to hate me for this sentence, Ville Valo is basically just an emo version of Christa Berg. And he couldn't sound more like Christa Berg on this album. He couldn't sound more like Christa Berg after smoking a fucking 20 of Marlboros. But that's basically where we are. And the illusion of this whole record just shattered. And I think this song broke me. I'm early doors here on the year of 2026. I would be shocked if we get a song that I dislike more than this in the next 12 months. I fucking hate this song. This is the Bears Are Coming of this year. This is not good. It's not good. It's not just I don't vibe with it and it's icky and it was an illusion shattering song that I'm like, I think I've managed to break down the album and kind of like the writing method down to its core. And then it doesn't help that because there's nothing to drag it back up. There's no pace after this album. It's all fairly low-key stuff. I just couldn't get it out of my head. I'm like, this is just fucking ballad after ballad after ballad. And then it led me down the path of, well, let's listen to the original, see if that changes my opinion. And it didn't change my opinion. I think the faster paced stuff, which is why I called it out in the best bits, are the ones with the more interesting themes. There is at least something in there that is like, this woman is bad for me, but I can't help myself, and that's more interesting. Unfortunately, on the UK release, Gone with the Sin onwards is just, you're so pretty and everything's so lovely and everything's great and I only want you, and the same fucking platitudes repeated over and over. So I can confidently tell you, I didn't like anything past that song. And I think, actually, to be fair, Wicked Game, I'm not going to call it out as a worst, but I was already fucking 50-50 at that point. I don't know about this. So they had a pretty good run. Poison Girl to Bury Me Deep Inside, that's the fucking good shit. And then it's like, oh no, Gone with the Sin broke me. So I couldn't enjoy anything right down to Heaven Tonight after that. Truly one of the worst songs I've ever heard. Gone with the Sin is that bad. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, it's perfectly fine.
What are your favourites? I'm just like, this is dog shit.
How would you feel, though, if I told you it's not actually a love song?
Go on.
It's actually finding beauty in decay or self-destruction. So it's
I'd have to reevaluate it.
So it's Gone with the Sin, implying the sin, potentially destructive lifestyle, or even death. It's taking them apart and seeing the beauty in that. So it's not necessarily a love song saying, oh, how beautiful you are. It's finding beauty in darkness,
Okay.
which is what the whole sort of premise of the song was, rather than being like a ballad, which is why it's done in that sort of eerie, sort of churchy tone.
Which you don't like.
Which I don't like, but it's kind of like the choral nature of the song works for me. So that's the reason why I like hold it quite high in my my list, because it isn't necessarily what you expect it to be on the surface. It's got deeper levels to it.
No. I mean, I'd have to reevaluate the lyrical content again based on your kind of deeper understanding it than I've got. All I can tell you is that the whole song is down in the low register, and that gets real boring. It's sorry, I'm just having fun with the doing a beautiful you are. I don't know whether that's any of that's going to show because these are not particularly sensitive microphones. Yeah. If the song didn't feel like it had been sucking on a fucking exhaust pipe, like for the whole runtime, I might have had a bit more fun with it. And there's a fucking like 2000 early 2000s pop fucking key change, bringing it down from eating gravel to eating sand. Like, it at least went up a step, but it was still like, I don't know, man. It just wasn't for me. Which means that kind of like anything beyond it, I just struggled to get into.
But the fact it took you 12 listens to get to that state.
I just, before that, right, I was like, why don't I like this? And it was like, but I like the early bits. Like, when there was a bit more pace to it, and kind of like I hate to say it, when the love is more complicated, because they're all songs that pertain to recognizing a beauty or recognizing an admiration. And when those have complexities, I kind of get it a bit more. Maybe I'm a bit of a basic bitch, and I only really recognize it on the surface level, because I did not get any of that beauty and decay shit from Gone with the Sin at all. Oh, we haven't even talked about the fucking fart solo. I forgot about the fart solo. Right. I don't know what engineering they did on the guitars in this, but sometimes it really worked, and sometimes it sounded like somebody sodomizing a fucking stylophone. And I don't know why in Gone with the Sin especially, it's literally, it sounds like... It sounds so bad, so cataclysmically, distractingly bad. And I think that's why it took me 12 listens. I'm like, why isn't this element working? I'm like, well, maybe that's just poor production. But why isn't the lyrics working for me? And then it's like, oh, it's just emo Christopher. And again, you got to imagine this album as a big fucking mirror, right? And that mirror was like dangling by a very, very loose nail for all 12 listens. And then eventually it came down. I was like, oh, it's boring. I get it now. It's boring love music. I'm very sorry. I'm very, very sorry.
No, there's nothing to apologise for. Look, genuinely, the fact that you can come out, you've listened to it, you gave it as much as you could. You've given it 12 listens, which is phenomenal. Like, you're allowed, you're entitled to your own opinion. We're not going to agree on every album on this list, and we've seen that before. There's going to be some albums where we just butt heads. Like, if we get a Ghost album in,
oh, fuck.
Like, I am going to struggle.
Somebody requests Prequel, and I'm just kind of like, that's one of my favourite albums ever. And you're like, this is horseshit.
This is a wet fart on a dry day. There's just certain bands out there that, like, we're going to disagree on. And with this, I can see exactly what you're saying. And comically, that guitar solo is one of the him fan base's most favourite part of a song.
What the
Genuinely,
fuck?
there is a following for people that love that solo. And
what is this scat fetish bullshit? Like, it's so bad. Like, you must see that the guitar tone on this is bizarre.
But it's a mix of synth, bass, organ, and guitar.
But if you're going to go organ, like you say, it's more choral. Why not take that to the logical conclusion? I guess that you'd end up with a Ghost song, which is probably not something that you personally would enjoy. But it would make sense. Like, you could take that to... Is this a case of... Yes, they came to Wales to produce the album. I wonder if this is a case of they had a vision in mind and did not have the resources to achieve it, because it does sound... The interesting thing about all of it is it does sound a little cheap. The stylophone guitar is one thing, but all of the kind of layered vocals and kind of like vocal choruses, if you will, are clearly done by other members of the band, and don't seem to have been like stacked up. It's very much like they've all had all five of them round a microphone, like early 70s fucking Queen shit, which I think gives it an interesting flavour, but does come across as more bare bones compared to kind of like their contemporaries at the time, which were really, I mean, nu metal. Talk about overproduced. Most nu metal is overproduced. You can't levy the complaint that this is overproduced. I think you might be able to levy the complaint it's a little underproduced.
But maybe that's the sound they were going for. Maybe they didn't want that polish. It's a very early 2000s album, so of course, like, sort of music that we're used to in modern times, we're going to feel that this is unpolished because the recording techniques were just so much more expensive. There was so much more to them back then. Like, the idea of having a podcast in your house was something that we didn't even know because the internet wasn't a thing properly because dial-up. And
back in my day.
Back in my day.
Where you had to check if your mom was on the phone before
Mom, get off the landline. Need to go on AOL. What you Googling? I'm on Yahoo. Google.
Oh, man, I could have done with something a bit, because this is fairly still gentle. The only extreme thing about him really is the kind of the image, isn't it? Like the kind of the vampiric androgynous form of Ville Valo is kind of the most shocking thing. And even then, it existed at the same time as Marilyn Manson.
But it was the goth for the people that didn't want to be goth.
I get
because
that.
the goth culture was very insular. Like, you were either goth or you weren't goth. And, like, it wasn't really the most welcoming of communities. Like, I knew people that were goths and they didn't really talk to anyone else. Same as metalheads. And I think that these were trying to make the music that they loved to just reach out to people that wanted to enjoy it. And you tend to find that the people that listened to this sort of stuff when they were growing into that age, going through that musical change, were more welcome to actually talk to other people. Like, they'd see people with the heartagram on their backpack and go, oh my God, what do you think of the latest album? And it's like that sort of community it was building. It was like making accessible music for everyone to enjoy, not just one specific ilk of people.
And I mean, there's definitely a success to be highlighted in that.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I mean, the amount of Kerrang posters I've seen with Ville Valo on. And admittedly, he's a beautiful man. And he had an incredible figure, cracking tattoos. He had his pubis tattooed with a heartagram.
His pubis.
Pubis, which is a great word. But yeah, he was what all the teenage girls wanted in a man. He wore guyliner, suited him. Admittedly, it did suit him, but cannot deny. Smoked 90 a day, wore blazers with a random scarf.
You are proving my theory, which is you were into this because this was your gay panic era.
I didn't have a gay panic era, I will say. Just because I wore girls' jeans, they mean that.
I'm not the one assembling this image of you. You've done that over the past 40 minutes.
I really have. But he was a beautiful man. Still is a beautiful man, even though he's aged.
And you can't help but point it out. Interesting.
Exactly. That's not the only point in this conversation. Wait.
For God's sake.
Let's hope that doesn't make the cut.
I tell you now, it bloody will. Do you think that the whole kind of success of this, because obviously they went from strength to strength after Razorblade came out, do you think that this is entirely engineered off the hype, the culture, Ville Valo's chest? Is it all built on that, or do you think that there's literally I'm not going to say a nostalgia for this. There's a nostalgia for it now, for sure. Is it based in a genuine love for the music, or is it based in kind of an infantile kind of idolization of... Because I can't name the other members of him at all. But I knew who Ville Valo was, and that's effective marketing. And it reached me, and I was not the target audience.
Saying that, how many bands from that era can you name a member other than the lead singer?
Oh, Christ. I think it's pretty much only System of a Down.
Think of Korn.
Yeah, I can... But Jonathan Bott's his name, and that's it. Yeah.
So you don't remember Monkey?
Oh, Monkey! I remember Monkey. Yeah.
Okay, Limp Bizkit.
Oh, I can. So it's Fred Durst. It's not. Oh God, what's his name? The guitarist. He's cool. He's always in costume. Fucking Wes Borland.
There we go. It took you all, but you got there.
And then the other two I can't name.
Good Charlotte.
Oh, I can't name any of them. Yeah, okay, you're proving a point. I can literally only name you the members of System of a Down, and that's it.
Yeah, so that's the thing from that era, like Nickelback, Chad Kroeger. You can name the singer because they're the most prominent member because they get all of the screen time. Because in some of these bands, unfortunately, if you weren't a singer, you weren't the lead.
True. It's just a lot of their contemporaries is the lead singer did look like a thumb. Yeah. So, but like, I guess that's what made him stand out is that
the community also saw him as a very attractive man, which helped to push them. And admittedly, yeah, maybe part of it is down to the way they look, but they're damn good musicians too.
I wouldn't say that they're completely untalented.
Oh no.
And I think that's a complaint I would have potentially levied against them at the time, in much the same way I would have levied the same complaint against MCR that I 100% would not do now. Like they were Gerard Way especially was held up as this lover boy icon. And no, actually, I think he's genuinely very clever, very talented, and I kind of wished I could go back and appreciate it more, kind of in media res, if you will. It's not something I can do with him because unfortunately I just didn't click with it. I just didn't gel. All that to say, we come to the inevitable conclusion. I think you've figured out where I'm going on this one, but I want to know whether you, before I eventually put this into the skip, whether you going back to it, revisiting this in the new light. Because, we talk about this sometimes on the show where we go, we had the Don Brocco conversation. Would any of their albums been unskippable? When you come back to this one, yes, one of your favourite childhood albums, is it unskippable?
I cannot come up with a song on this album that I do not still enjoy to this day.
Okay.
So I love softer music as much as I love heavier music. And if I'm in the mood to sit and relax and just watch the world go by and pretend I'm in a music video while on a train ride, this is my album of choice.
Pretend you're in a music video.
As you're watching the world go by, like, let's make a beautiful music video.
Well, when you're just
I think everybody went through that stage, going to their local city on the train, watching the beautiful structures go by and go, oh, put some music to this. Oh, perfect.
Some atmospheric rain and black and white photography and Natalie Imbruglia music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't it ironic?
We've all been there.
We've all been there.
Nothing was right, and I am now torn. I'm not torn. It's going in the fucking skip.
Unfortunately, no matter what I can do, as per the rules of the show, even if one of us decides that this album is unskippable, if the other disagrees, it has to, unfortunately, go in the skip.
You can get in the bin, you emo Krista Berg. I do not get you.
I do. My verdict is unskippable, as you've probably guessed, from the fact that I cannot come up with a track that I do not enjoy. But I do appreciate your feedback on it, and like, no, genuinely,
we're not on a fucking Teams call. You can be mad.
I can't be mad over opinions. At the end of the day, like,
I'll find a way.
We sat and listened to some of the music that you enjoyed. It's like, I think it was Sanitized by whatever it was. My Ghost. It felt like
these needles are very sharp today. Satanized.
Oh, Satanized. And I thought that was hot garbage, but
and it still made the list.
It's made your list, not mine.
It's our list.
No,
we're like brothers, only closer. Sorry, I really should have said that in the episode where I've also said you're having a gay panic. Anyway.
I'll speak to you later.
I see your point. Put your trousers back on.
My point is still there.
This episode went places.
Yeah, this episode's definitely gone to dark areas.
I was going to say gone to shit, which I would also agree.
It's gone with the sin.
It's gone with the shit.
But yeah, unfortunately, you have not made the unskippable list because Mike does not appreciate anything slower than 120 BPM.
Look, if you can't... I was about to say, if you can't fuck to it. This is literally... This is entirely... This is just goth orgy music. It's what this is. No, I do. I'm not saying I don't like slower tempo things. It's just I think this is a bit one note, and it's probably because 12 listens. I feel like I gave it a damn good chance. I just didn't grab on anything that was more complicated than sometimes love's a little bit weird. And I'm like, I need more complexity for this. There wasn't enough for me to analyze, which is weird because you've done it more than me. You've come to me with takes that I hadn't kind of...
Which is unseen for me. Usually I'm just the skin deep guy. You're the one looking into things.
Maybe this is the year that I get into garage music. Who knows?
Well, I've got a perfect mixtape for you to start with. And it's got a wonderful cover of Join Me.
If anybody's got that, please send it us. I need to hear Join Me in bed.
Happy hardcore version.
It must exist. This is now our fucking Moby
We will
Dick.
find that. And it will go in my top tracks of 2026.
If we can
I'm going to get it into my Spotify Wrapped.
I mean, you have to upload it to Spotify.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll do it on the podcast channel. Just listen to it on repeat.
Oh, dear.
Oh, God. This conversation has massively derailed.
Yep.
However, if you would also like to hear us derail on your potential favourite album, you know where to get those submissions in. That's skip'dpod@gmail.com. skip'dpod@gmail.com. Drop the P. I forgot the words.
This gay panic episode is really going places.
Drop the P.
Drop the P. Whoa, come on, lad. Drop the P. Come on.
Oh, bro, should we do that again?
No, it's perfect. So, yeah, skip'dpod@gmail.com. You don't use the E or the P, as we found out. Yeah, I love selling this whole show. Would you like to hear us go off on tangents whilst kind of maybe talking about an album you've asked for? Come to us. We've got you sort of covered. Oh, Christ. Thank you very much for listening to this episode. This has been an interesting start to the year.
Yeah, hopefully we don't trash too many albums this year.
I am here for flames. I want to start wars.
Well, talking of that,
Yep.
should we give a brief guess into who our next artist is?
Oh, do we hint now? We don't
we could do if you want.
Okay, well,
this next one will probably be a big hit with the dads out there. Let's put it that way.
We're talking about things getting hot in here, and I'm definitely hitting a fever of a certain amount of degrees. It's the wrong album, but I think you get where we're going with this.
Yeah.
See you next week.
Bye.